Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and welcome to today's episode of The Hypnotist, where actually, rather than me doing a hypnosis session, I'm actually joined by a very special guest, Anne Jirsch. Welcome to the show today, Anne.
Thank you. I love your work, so I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, great to have you here. So we're going to have a bit of a chat so we get to know you, and then you're going to do a hypnosis session based on, and you know, for people that listen to the show, they know I love talking about kind of like different realities, different, you know, ways of dealing with time. But you're going to be talking about a future life, so accessing a life you haven't even lived yet, which I think is going to be a great hypnosis session for everyone to experience. But before we get to that, give us a bit of background on you. Who are you for people that haven't heard of you before, and how did you get into this particular, you know, kind of industry, which is a strange industry?
It is a very strange industry, and some aspects of it have taken me by surprise. So how did I start? I started off reading tarot cards. My grandmother was a fortune teller, and so I absolutely loved that, and that really took off for me, and I did that for many years. You've got to remember, I'm an old girl, so we're going back many decades, so I've been around this stuff a long time. And I had this deep fascination for past life regression, and there was nowhere to train. You know, these days you'd go on Google, because you didn't have all that. You'd look in yellow pages, you'd ask around. I couldn't find anybody that taught. And then it went on for years trying to find out how can I be regressed. And then this American woman, Denise Lynn, come over and conducted a past life regression session. And I thought, I have to work with this. But she didn't talk, still had nobody training. So I decided to train in clinical hypnotherapy. I thought I needed some sort of certificate, you know, I need something behind me. So I trained in clinical hypnotherapy and wrote my own scripts, and that took off incredibly well. I still worked with clinical hypnotherapy, but I found myself referring a lot of people on, and I still do to this day, because I think weight loss, so-and-so's brilliant at that, you know, so-and-so with sleep or some with bereavement. I kind of find out who's good out there, and I pass on a lot of people. But I did addictions. I worked a lot. I was living in an area with a lot of addictions, so I still work with addictions. Anyway, I happily worked with past life regression for many years. Oh, every story is different. It is just the most incredible experience. And then what happened was some military guys came to see me and said they needed to find out something from the past. They needed to be regressed to find out where something was. And I worked with them. I did them a number of sessions with each other just to get the feel of them, and they were really fascinated. Then I brought somebody in to take us all back. And what happened was all three of us jumped forward. We didn't realise it at the time. We were trying to go back, and we had this scene in front of us, all sorts of different aspects, the same scene. We presumed we'd got it wrong. And what we actually saw was the attack on the Twin Towers. I mean, it was just so shocking. But we didn't understand what we'd seen. We just thought the session hadn't worked out very well. I mean, we actually just went off up the pub and went for a curry, because that's what you do when you work with soldiers, don't you? And 3 weeks later, when the attack happened, it was really unsettling, because we didn't know enough to stop it. What's the point of seeing it? Mark Twain said this. What's the point of seeing something if you can't do anything about it? And I totally get that. But after a while, we started to experiment. and we consistently kept predicting world events, consistently, not the odd fluke. And then one of the big self-help gurus started to take an interest and go, you've got to document what you're seeing, because you keep telling me this stuff, then it happens. Even stuff you'd think is ludicrous, like the invasion of Iraq, that it was just constantly kept predicting things. Then I started to use it on my clients, and that was a big game changer. So I was taking clients 5, 10 years into the future lifetime or whatever, and it was changing them. It's like you tap into that future consciousness, it changes you now. Most people are not moving forward because they are where they are now with their current consciousness. You need to go beyond that. And I started to see this massive shift, but the thing that really got me, and this was when you get that, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. They were coming back to me and saying, all that happened in 6 months. It was as if we're bringing the best of the future forward. I'm not patient. I know you're supposed to be all patient. I'm not patient. I don't particularly want to be patient, to be honest. I kind of go, let's just get stuff done. So the best of it coming forward, they're meeting the love of their life or finding the job or having the confidence to push their business forward or make things happen. That got me. I thought, then I'm going to work. And I just, so a whole catalogue of things happened. I ended up with a major book deal, put the book out on the subject, and it went really sold, become bestseller in many countries. So the whole thing changed the whole course of my life. So that's a sort of potted history.
It sounds like an amazing story, and it's these chance encounters sometimes that kind of have a ripple effect and leads you places where you're not really sure how you got there, but you just feel like you're in the right place. And I think a lot of people, when they hear about kind of like thinking about the future, it's this kind of idea of manifestation or affirmations. It's this idea of, well, you're just being very intentional or deliberate about what you want. What I'm hearing from you is something else, and that is that you're getting a glimpse of things that maybe you don't even know that you want, but then you figure out what you want, and then actually that future pacing somehow changes the future to give you a future that you wouldn't have necessarily encountered if you didn't see that future in advance.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You've got to go beyond your current self. You've got to go beyond. Most of us, of where we are, we want to expand our business a bit. We don't see the really big picture. We don't see beyond it. Yeah, it changes. It does change. At the very act of seeing your future will change it. And the amount of people that have said to me, well, I thought I'd be doing better in my job. The boss has always promised me a promotion at 5 years. I see I haven't got one. Now going to go and find somewhere where I'm appreciated more. Or I create quite a strong anchor on the future self. I get them to really get some of the detail, have a look, find out what you need to do now. We do this manifesting thing where we think it's all going to drop out the sky. I regularly get people contact me and go, how I can just manifest £1 million. I'm thinking, well, I wouldn't be working 14-hour days if I knew how to do that. But people want things drop out the sky. Finding out what you actually need to do and getting rid of everything else, you're going to move forward. But it's something about you changes. It's a weird thing. People start to treat you a bit different. There's something there that shifts, that you connect with that future energy and you start to become that person that is in the future that's doing so much better. Most people are going to find it slow going, hard. Just keep taking another course. Let's just take another course. That might be the one that makes it all big for me. No, what is that path, and what is it you need to do? So yeah, it really is that. Let's nail it. Let's really nail that future.
And we're talking about slightly different topics. Well, very different topics. You're talking about like the future vision at the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference. I'm going to be talking about the fourth dimension. And where they slightly overlap is that both of these things are dealing with the concept of time. And in the fourth dimension, there's this idea that time is fluid, that it can go backwards and forwards, but also that there are multiple realities. And I get a sense that this way of thinking of the future is almost like we're seeing all the different possibilities of what your future could be. and then honing in onto the most desirable bit. And it's always easier to figure your way out of a maze if you've already left the maze. If you know what it's like to be out there, you can kind of figure all of those kind of different routes, in a more streamlined way. Can you think of a client that you worked with where you took them to a future and just them seeing that kind of had a huge impact on their life's trajectory from that point forward?
Oh, I do it every day. So I'm just thinking, which one do I pick out? We do look at alternate futures. I train people in this, and I've got a whole load of different ways of working. But yeah, I mean, one client, I work with them. I often see what they're seeing, and this is somebody I work with regularly. It was a big shot in London, and we both had glimpsed the same thing when I took him forward, that everything had ground to a halt in London. At the time, he was booming, well known, everything good. You could just see it was all going to dry up. And within a month, he closed his agency, sold his house, gone to LA, opened up there, because we could see that LA would be the next place to really open up in his industry. So if he'd have stayed there, he would have lost so much. And it is that timing. I mean, for me, Dubai, I was one of the first people to buy a property in Dubai. And I loved it. Loved it. Palm Island. I'm like, I love it. I had this conflict. I didn't want to sell it. But I knew I kept waking up at night with this real feeling something's going to happen. So whenever I looked in the future, I wasn't sure what it was, but Dubai seemed quiet. It's never quiet. At the time, it was crazy. So I actually used my instinct and sold the place. And 3 months later, this is when they all handed their keys back in, everyone left, and I'd have been in trouble for money. I would have been in big trouble. And the good thing is, the people I sold it to were actually attached to an embassy, so they had to be there. So it actually they got a really good deal on, magnificent sort of like environment, and it worked out perfectly. And that's the thing. You can find that this is where we need to be. So yeah, I've got loads of clients where I worked with an artist and he was just blocked. He was just so blocked. He hadn't done anything 3 years. And if you work with creative people, they get a bit manic, like, oh my God, it's terrible. And I took him forward to find his best work. What is your best work? And we sat for 2 hours. I don't usually work with people. I don't usually do long sessions. I'll get to the point. We sat for 2 hours and he had this huge notepad. He was drawing, it was deciphering, he was writing down words. He had this big felt tip. It went on for 2 hours. And at the end, we sat down and went, oh, that's a camera. You're filming. Oh, you're doing that. Da, da, da. Oh, that's the title of something. He didn't know what he'd put down. It was very boom, 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 boom. He went away and started creating some great work. So kickstarting that creativity, maybe, with some clients, it's, oh my God, I never thought to go in that direction with my work, but now I can see what a great direction it is. So I've got loads of stories.
It's amazing. And it's good to hear these kind of stories, because I think it plants seeds as to kind of what's possible. And I think there is this magical thing that, in my mind, that's why goal setting works. That's why these things like vision boards work, because you get a glimpse of what could be, and just considering that actually seems to open up some kind of, different dimension, different resources that increases the probability of that thing happening. We're both at the Irish Hypnotherapy Convention. I'm going to put a link in the show notes to where people can see us in Ireland, but also to your own website or any details. So if people want to work with you, they know how to find you. But you're going to do a hypnosis session, not about the future within this lifetime, but within a future lifetime. So yeah, if you want to kind of introduce that, or just kind of start the hypnosis session, I'm going to put my mic all the way down. So it's over to you.
Thank you. Well, we hear about past life regression and often forget, if you've had past lives, it stands to reason you're probably going to have a future lifetime. It's a cycle. You have the cycle of life. And obviously Hinduism, many other thought processes and religions and beliefs believe that there is reincarnation. You can have many lives. I found when I first started working with future lifetimes, what surprised me is every single person I worked with was much more evolved, much more aware. Somehow or other, I'm wondering if we now take some sort of leap, evolutionary leap, because something's different about us. But one thing I've found is people talk about spirit guides and things, and who's going to love you more and guide you better than your future self? Who knows you better than your future self? So just having a little journey to go and meet yourself in a future lifetime. Sometimes it's what you expect. A lot of the time it isn't. Who are you? What are you doing? Because your role in that future lifetime might give you a big hint as to your direction now. We often find, oh, I've been thinking about working more that way. So it can give you some real good insight. So to take you on a little journey into a future lifetime, one of the things I like about it takes you beyond your current life. We're so bogged down and stressed and tired. Let's go on a little journey. And I'll just do a little gentle, nothing big and heavy, just a little journey for you to meet with yourself in a future lifetime. So just make yourself nice and comfy and just close your eyes. And just focus on your breathing. And as you focus on your breathing, you will naturally start to relax. And as you relax, you'll feel your chest and your tummy rise and fall with each breath that you take. And as you relax, just allow the muscles in your body to just let go. Any tension, let go. Just feel yourself soften. And your eyes, mouth, cheeks, neck, just your arms, your legs. Just allow yourself to really let go and relax. And you'll notice with each breath that you take, you'll relax more and more and more. And I just want you to imagine you're out in nature on a beautiful day. You can feel the warmth of the sun. Feel a gentle breeze. Look around at the flowers in every color that you can imagine. You smell sweet scent. You can hear birds singing in a nearby tree. This is your special place. Just breathe in this sweet, clean air. With each breath you take, you'll relax more and more. And you look up at the perfectly blue sky, and you notice just one cloud. And as you watch, it floats down toward you and floats a few inches from the ground. And you climb onto the cloud and you sink in and you feel safe and cozy. The cloud carries you up and up into the air, up and up, up and up into the air until you're looking down on a beautiful, beautiful garden below. As you look down, you also notice a road. And somehow you know that road represents your life. The road behind is the past, and the road in front is your future. And in a moment, you're going to float forward through time. You're going to float all the way forward through time, way beyond your current life. and down into a future lifetime. Your very next lifetime, you'll get a sense of who you are, what your role is. Information that's going to be really useful to you. If you're floating on a cloud and you're floating forward through time, forward through time. That's good. Floating forward through time, way beyond your current life, floating forward, and down into a future lifetime, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. For yourself, arrive and land in your future lifetime. And just take what comes to you in whatever form it wishes to come to you in. It might be thought, feeling, an image you might just know. Just allow it to come to you. And get a sense of who you are, you male or female or something else. And get a sense of what age you are. Just get a sense of your surroundings, inside, outside, city, coast, countryside. Maybe you're out in space, on a different planet. Just take what comes to you. Just let your mind flow and bring you the information. And just get a sense of what your role is. What is it you do in that future lifetime? What is your purpose? Get a sense of whatever that role is. Does that give you a hint of where you should be heading in your current time? In your mind, speak to that future you. Ask future you what advice they have for you in your current time. They have the wisdom of hindsight. A sense of the energy of your future self. Is it good energy, positive, serene? Whatever it is, if you'd like a little bit, that energy, just reach out and imagine you put your hand on your future self and soak up whatever that wonderful energy it might be, wisdom, might be purpose, might be peace. Whatever it is, soak up a little bit of that energy. And you're not taking anything away from your future self. The energy will continue to flow. As it soak up a little bit of positive energy, as it allow it to flow to you. That's good. And if you have a question for your future self, this is a good time to ask. And you can bid farewell to your future self. You can come back anytime you wish. But for now, float back to your present time and place. That's good. Back to your original place. When you're ready, take a nice deep breath and open your eyes when you're fully awake.
That was fascinating. It was really, really, really interesting. I love the cloud metaphor there. I'm going to share a little bit of experiences that I got from that. So I kind of imagined quite a futuristic kind of place. And some of the things that I got a sense was there was a lack of kind of sickness and illness in that kind of future. That, you know, I felt lots of health and vitality, and it seemed other people around. And there was lots of kind of like futuristic technology, like robots and screens and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And there was two key insights that I got from that. One is, here I am right now in this time, you know, and I love investing and those kind of things. So therefore, if that's how I imagine the future to be, investing in those kind of companies could be, you know, that's the trajectory that we're on. That could be quite useful. And the other insight that I got from that is this idea that in the future, there is a blur between real things and kind of, let's say, technology experiences. And the real insight I got is to value real things, like real people, real relationships, real moments, real nature, those kind of things, because it will reach a point, I think, in the future where it's almost difficult to tell the difference between a robot and a human and something that you see through a screen or a VR headset and kind of real experiences, therefore to value those real experiences. So I found that really, really fascinating. Thank you so much, Anne.
Yeah, you're welcome. And what you're saying is I started looking into AI over 20 years ago because I could see, and people thought I was potty. A lot of the time I predicted things and people think, no, it's not going to happen so soon. If anything, I thought it was further down the road. It seems if the future's coming towards us even sooner. But yeah, definitely healthcare. I mean, and in the last year, I've met a girl in the Middle East who's training to be a surgeon, where she's working remotely. She's working remotely through a robot. Actually, and the precision of it is better than what a human could do. So things that sounded way out 20 years ago when I started looking at this is very much, but the futuristic, yeah, that we found there's different lifetimes. We definitely are interplanetary, and we definitely are in the future. High-tech cities, but we started to see that some people go back to a more primitive, almost a more primitive life, and it's so hectic, the life we're in now, that if I was to say, oh, look, there's this log cabin, you can go and sit by a river with your other half or children or whatever for a few days, you go, oh, yeah, we'll kind of give this. So it's like some people opt for that. And one of the lives we found was some people are almost not informed. And especially when we go 1,000 years into the future, that's a different ball game as well. It took me a while to really connect with because it's so different. Things I would normally ask, it just seemed like, yeah, don't bother us with that. It's a silly question. It took me a while to actually change my thinking to 1,000 years. But it's like some people are not fully informed. They're almost like light beings. And the first person I did a session with was a big businessman, proper sensible businessman, and he was just saying, I don't get it. I feel like I'm a ball of light. I feel like I'm just energy, and I think I'm Tinkerbell. And he was laughing, just going, this is stuff, and it was really, really interesting to see what are we in the future? So it's like we can go in and out of form somewhat. Yeah, we've had some great adventures looking at life. That was great insight. Thank you.
I enjoyed that. I felt very, very relaxed, and I loved the kind of the nature and the cloud floating things. And we're going to be in Dublin in April at the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference. If you like what you've heard from Anne, come and see us. There'll be a link in the show notes where you can book early bird tickets and those kind of things. But Anne, if someone wants to kind of learn more about you or work with you directly, where's the best place they can go to find more about you?
But for this work, futurevisiontraining.com.
Futurevisiontraining.com.
But Anne Jirsch, I'm on social media. I'm not shy. So typical Leo. I just follow me. I love talking to people. Or you can go to annejirsch@hotmail.co.uk. Give me a wave. I love talking to people. I really love working with this. It's creating massive change. I'm seeing people so stuck and so fed up, and to just do one session and they walk out 10 feet tall and go, I'm going to go, this is going to happen. This is my life. It's just so wonderful. I just absolutely love working with this.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.